It's quarterback Ben DiNucci here on The Fan.
He's in the building!
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, guys? I appreciate the warm welcome.
Oh, man, it's good to have you here and talking football, and congrats. How's it feel to be a SeaDragon?
Thank you. It's good. It's been a little weird the past 2 months, just sitting on my couch on the weekends watching games. I'd probably be lying if I told you it didn't, piss me off a little bit. So I'm excited. I'm excited to have a job again, still be playing football. So I'm grateful. Couldn't ask for anything else.
What do you know about the organization up there? Do you have a head coach and some teammates you're familiar with?
I do. Jim Haslett is the head coach. June Jones is the OC. So they're going to let me sling the ball around a little bit, which is right up my alley. So I'm looking forward to that. The actual draft for the rest of the players is tomorrow and Thursday. They did the quarterbacks today, but now I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good product. I know there's a lot of excitement around the XFL right now.
Well, Ben, I'm going to be real honest with you. I had somebody from the Houston Roughnecks call me, and they were asking me about you. And I think the Roughnecks were 2 picks behind where you were selected. I think there was a possibility you might have ended up in Houston if you'd have got past Seattle.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've known that I've been going to Seattle for about a month now. So,
oh, really?
They've been trying to keep this thing under wraps for as long as possible. And today was the day where they're kind of announcing, doing all that stuff. So I would have loved to stay in Texas. The Arlington team would have been awesome too. But honestly, it's pretty cool. The whole league is based in Dallas, so Dallas will be the whole central hub for everything, and then we're going to fly out to the different cities on weekends. So that'll be kind of perfect storm for me. It worked out really well.
Oh, that's exciting. I mean, we're pumped about the Renegades out here for sure. It's a bummer you didn't get to be a Renegade. Now you got to go play in Seattle. But
the Renegades need some drafts, some DBs, baby. They got to stop this offensive attack.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. We'll be pulling for you, man. We saw you out there in training camp. You're always winning the quarterback drills. But what's been going on out there in Vegas? Like, what's the hype around the XFL right now for the fans out there that want to get involved?
Yeah, they've got us doing a bunch of engagement stuff out here. They flew all of us in last night. There's 12 or 13 guys, so it's actually pretty cool. They've kind of taken us behind the scenes around a bunch of stuff. It's us, the head coaches, and then all the XFL operations, and we're supposed to meet The Rock, I think tomorrow or tonight or something, so that'll be pretty cool. See if he wants to do some arm wrestling or something like that. But, no, there's a lot of excitement around it. We're doing some meet and greets, some different stuff. Some guys are already down big at the craps table, so we've had some good laughs already.
That's fantastic. Is the SeaDragon? The SeaDragon seems like it's the most kick-ass of the mascots for the XFL. Am I wrong about this?
I would agree. No, I think you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, SeaDragons has a nice ring to it, right?
Yeah. I think it's. The Battlehawks is pretty strong. We know the Renegades, the Vipers. You got the Guardians. I don't know. I think the SeaDragon is up there for sure. Now, I'm curious what the transition, Ben, of playing for you're at Pitt and then you go James Madison, okay, and you dominate, and then you blink your eyes and it's Sunday Night Football and you're the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. Like, is there even a way to describe the difference in what it was you were seeing going from James Madison playing these teams to all of a sudden playing an NFL defense? Like, describing that, is it hard to even compute?
Hey, stay in the huddle, boys. Stay in the huddle.
It's actually pretty interesting you guys brought that up. I tweeted about an hour ago that, my journey has always been very different than everybody else's. Wouldn't have it any other way. That's just kind of been my MO. I mean, I wasn't a 5-star guy coming out of high school. I had to scrap and claw for Power 5 offers, ended up at Pitt. Things didn't go the way I wanted. Didn't even know if I was going to play football again. Was I going to graduate, just get on with my life, blah, blah, blah. Decided to keep playing football. Just wanted to have some fun, go play. Went to JMU, played really well. And the NFL just was kind of one of those things. And 6 months later, I was suiting up on Sunday Night Football back in my home state for the first time I was ever on the field in the NFL. So, kind of a crazy whirlwind of 2 or 3 years there. But that's just the business of how this thing all works. Listen, I'm 25. I'm still playing ball for a living, so I can't really have no reason to stress, no reason to kind of harp on the past. But I'm a firm believer in just control what you can control. Stuff happens for a reason, so I'm going to keep trying to put my best foot in front of the other, and hopefully be back in the NFL when this thing's all said and done in a few months.
It's quarterback Ben DiNucci here with you on 105.3 The Fan, drafted in the XFL today. We're talking football. You bring up that start for the Cowboys a couple of years ago. What What do you remember about that? And just a side question: is the sidearm throw a normal part of your repertoire?
I think it's pretty normal at this point. It is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how many of those I can complete in the XFL, since I didn't complete too many of them that Sunday night game. So hopefully that'll be a better turnout. But the one thing that kind of sticks out for me from that Sunday night game was Brandon Graham talking shit to me every play before I walked in. Oh, sorry about that. Talking crap to me every play before I got in the huddle. So I think it would have been a little different had there have been 75,000 people in the stands. It was a little different because it was that COVID year, so I think they were only allowed to have like 4,000 fans or something like that. So I didn't really even have time to get nervous or worry about any of that stuff. I just tried to tell myself that this is the game you've been playing for the past 10 years. Just go have fun and try to just put the team in good positions to score and put points on the board. And so I did a decent job of that. I mean, it was the first time I'd ever started, got to have some experience in an NFL game. So I mean, all positives, honestly.
Incredible memories, and with that Brandon Graham talking mess like that, I bet you enjoyed the conclusion of last night's Monday Night Football game. Did you see what he did?
we were in the casino watching that, and I was telling some of the guys, I was like, yeah, he was saying some pretty choice words to me every time I got in the huddle before the game. So I think it was pretty sweet to see Philly lose last night. I don't really have a team anymore. I mean, I'll still root for Dallas because I've got True Brand and all that stuff, but I know that people in Dallas are probably pretty happy to see the outcome of that game last night.
Always.
How does that work when Brandon Graham is spitting vitriol at you? Do you even have time to really register it, or you're so focused? And like, are you trash talking back as a quarterback?
Maybe if I was a 10-year guy and won 7 Super Bowls like Tom Brady, but I had no right to say anything back to those guys. I kind of just
agree with them
when I got in. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff he was saying was probably pretty accurate in the time. I can't say on air what he was saying, but I mean, you could probably use your imagination and muster up some of the stuff that he was coming up with. But no, I mean, I was just getting into the huddle with a smile on my face, and Zach Martin and some of those guys were just like, yeah, that's just who he is, kind of. Just take it with a grain of salt and let it be. So that was kind of my welcome to the NFL moment, I guess you could say.
So you mentioned you're still pulling for the Cowboys. Did you get to watch the game against the Packers, and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I watched the game. I mean, it's tough. Penalties. I mean, I hear that talk a lot. I don't know. It was a good game as a fan. Just kind of watching the game, I've had a different perspective on the whole. It's very different watching from your couch opposed to watching on the field and being able to see everything. I was pulling for them to pull that out when they went up 28-14. I almost shut the TV off. But Aaron Rodgers was my favorite player growing up, and I kind of expected that he would have something to say about that, considering that Coach McCarthy, that was his first time going back, and he had such a integral part of Aaron's career. So. It was as a fan, it was a great game to watch. As somebody from Dallas, as a Cowboys fan, I could see how they'd be very, very, very frustrated, if that makes sense.
Ben, you've lived playing quarterback here, so you're very equipped to answer this question. Does Kellen Moore call a different game between Dak and, say, any backup quarterback or like Cooper? Is there a different way of the game plan? Do you feel like that? The offense is going to be called differently with him, depending on who the quarterback is?
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty fair to assume. And it's really not hard to tell if you're just watching. Lean on the run game a lot when I was playing, and earlier in the year when Cooper was in there, just kind of trust the O-line, let Zeke and TP kind of do what they do and kind of lean on the defense. But I just think that's probably how every OC in the NFL is going to be. Your starter can do some things that the backups probably can't do, so the game plan is probably going to be a little more expansive, if that makes sense. He's probably going to try to let Dak do a little bit more than say Cooper or myself. So, but that being said, I think you kind of just got to. I'm not sure you necessarily need to call the game any different. Just kind of play to the strengths of your team. And right now, I think the O-line and the run game has been so good that they should probably continue to lean on those guys up front.
Ben DiNucci with the show 105.3 The Fan. We've kind of been wondering about Kellen in as an offensive coordinator, and you've played for several throughout your football career, and now going to Seattle and playing with the SeaDragons. You'll have June Jones. But, watching that Packers game, it kind of seemed like that offense just kind of got stagnant, maybe helping receivers get open with motion or some other offenses we see, whether it's Miami or San Francisco or Minnesota. How do you think the Cowboys offense compares to some of the other offenses we see in the NFL?
That's a good question. I think the Cowboys are probably right up there in terms of playmakers and guys just that can play and are very good at football. I would say Kellen's probably a little bit more on the conservative side of game planning, of play calling. They've got the guys, CD, MG. They've got the playmakers around. It just sometimes you just got to get guys the ball in space and let those guys go make plays. The quarterback's one of 11, so it doesn't do any good if everyone's not doing their job. And sometimes the best play is just getting the ball in your playmakers' hands and letting them go do what they do.
Did you ever look at Dak and just kind of like feel for him in terms of the type of spotlighting criticism a Dallas Cowboys quarterback gets?
Yeah, 100%. I guess I never really understood that until I kind of played and saw what people were saying on Twitter about me, and some of it was probably justified, honestly. But yeah, I was just watching that game the other night. Those 2 interceptions, I'm not sure either of them were on Dak, honestly. The first one is cover 2, so both safeties shot out. They got the guy running through the middle of the field. CD's supposed to cut that in front of the safety's face and help Dak out there. You can see Dak kind of let the ball go before CD made his break, anticipating that he was going to be in that hole. Just a miscommunication there on that part, and then kind of looked like the same one in the red zone, whether Dalton was supposed to cut it off or CD was supposed to cut it off. Just looked like guys were too close to each other. Anytime you got 2 guys on the same within a few yards of each other on the field, generally someone's wrong or spacing's just messed up. So.
It's Ben DiNucci here with you. So everybody's wearing this hat with the upside down Dallas. What made you come up with it?
So I actually didn't start it. My business partner started it in 2020. When COVID started, his whole thing was the world felt upside down, Dallas felt upside down. Let me flip Dallas upside down on a hat, see if it looks good. Looked really good. People bought it. After my rookie year, he kind of just asked me to be business partners out of the blue. He had reached out to me and just kind of got me a few hats, and we kept in touch for a few months. It was just very natural how the thing grew. I knew I could get guys on my team to wear it. Every time I wore it out, guys were like, hey, that's pretty cool. What's the deal with that? So I knew that it was a talking piece, a conversation starter, and just naturally, I think if Dak Prescott or Luka Doncic or any of these guys wears anything, and it's in the media, it's like, what is it and how do I get it? So the kind of natural growth of that and Hard Knocks really helped last year too.
So it's the brand is called True Brand, right? What's next for you guys?
That's a good question. I think for 2023, we're going to start rolling out just some different types of materials, apparel. We're basically, I'd say we're probably 90% hats right now. We can get some, T-shirts, hoodies, all different kinds of stuff, made that's Dallas pieces. I'm not sure all of it's going to say upside down Dallas. We kind of want to be different, be creative, and kind of give Dallas, the city, some pieces that they can kind of wear with pride, show that they're from Dallas, represent Dallas, and stand behind us in the city. So a lot of exciting things coming up. Also, I appreciate you guys. I was listening a few weeks ago when you name dropped us, and we had about 200 people flood to the store as you guys were on air. So I appreciate that. I'll get you guys some hats, and that'll all be good.
Sweet. I could use an upside down Garland hat while you're working on it.
Special one of one. I'll see if I can get it done.
Sweet.
I'll tell you what, your Mavs gear looks really, really good too, by the way. That's some
Thank you.
some
Appreciate
sharp
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
If I could ask you another football question, and it's about Mike McCarthy and sideline interaction with Kellen Moore. When you were down there, how much does Mike click over and talk to Kellen about game plan or how he's calling a game, or is he pretty quiet and letting Kellen do his job?
I do not have an answer to that. My microphone I could hear Kellen, and that was it. So I'm not necessarily sure how much they're communicating or interacting or any of that stuff. I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm sure Mike probably would butt in every once in a while on just kind of critical downs.
Sure.
I don't know, but I think for the most part, Mike probably lets Kellen call it. I know that was a big thing for him when he first got here in 2020. I think he always called it in Green Bay, and kind of having somebody call it for him, I think was kind of something new for him, and rightfully so. I mean, if you'd been doing something that you love to do for that many years and just had to give it up. I think there's probably some learning curves and stuff going on there too. So yeah, I guess that's a good answer for that. I'm not necessarily sure how much they communicate during the games.
So Brandon Graham's the biggest trash talking opponent. Who was the biggest Cowboy trash talker to you during practice and camp and stuff like that?
Oh man, Micah Parsons, you could hear him every day. He's everybody and anybody. He didn't matter who you were, what position you were. Trayvon Diggs is another one. So we tended to throw at him a lot just to see if we could get it out of him. Some guys on the offense had some juice to them. Some of the younger tight ends, Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, those guys carry some stuff with them. They can definitely talk, back it up. They've been playing really well this year, so it's kind of exciting to see that young group of guys kind of play well.
Looks like your guy Coach McCarthy's pretty good at trash talking the refs.
I guess. Yeah. And I have nothing to say about that.
All right, Nucci, you're in the party capital of the world there in Vegas. What is Ben DiNucci's claim to fame? What is your best party story?
Oh, man. What's my best party story? I don't even know if I have an answer for that. And you're going to put me on the spot on air, too.
Always.
That's a good question. What's my best party story? Oh man, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something I can say on air. I'm not sure if I can.
That's fine.
Better make it happen tonight. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably lose $100 on my first hand of blackjack here in a few hours anyway.
There you go.
Maybe you can go with that. Yeah,
you're the best, brother.
I thought that's how the True brand started. You were so hammered, you thought Dallas was upside down,
Exactly.
I didn't want to say it on air, but I'm glad you brought it up.
Legendary. Thanks, dude. Enjoy playing football. Enjoy Seattle, and we hope to catch up with you soon.
Of course, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are the best.